Hey guys, just give it a couple seconds for whoever's around to join. Hope everyone's having a great week. Already Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday have sped by, it's crazy. Just give it a second. Oh, great topic tonight, guys. Really important one. I just wanted to come on and highlight this fact about being clear about what it is that you want. So that's basically what I'll be talking about in just 1 second once a couple more people have joined. Looks like a few of you have joined, so we might kick it off. But guys, clarity is key. Knowing what you want is key. And I made a point about this earlier this week, and I think it is key that you know what your end result is. So whatever it might be, whatever type of goal, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, make sure that you've got the clarity. Make sure it's set out in stone what it is, high level, that you want to achieve. Because if you don't have that clarity, what's going to happen every single time is you're going to lose focus. And you'll end up doing a bunch of random things that aren't associated with what it is you actually want to get. So make sure whenever you're working on something that it's aligned to one of your core goals, to things you want to be doing, right? Otherwise, you'll just be wasting your time, other people's time, and ultimately it doesn't help, So, if you want to, I don't know, whatever it might be, if it's a health goal, an exercise goal, and you want to lose weight, look better, get one of those beach bodies, then, it's all about figuring out exactly what you want to do. What weight do you want to be? What do you want your body to look like? And why are you doing it? And as soon as you've got those clear features in mind, it's about saying, okay, now that I know exactly what it is, those things that I want, then it becomes a lot clearer. Oh, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to the gym to lift some weights so that I can start looking like that. I need to start running 5K so I can start getting closer to that. So guys, again, it's about, I heard this analogy. I was listening to one of these self-development talks, and they were talking about how does the farmer find the motivation, who's working the crops in the summer heat and during the cold winters when it's snowing and when he's got to take care of all that. How do they keep the motivation to keep going despite those conditions? And it comes down to the fact that the farmer understands that eventually he'll be able to sow his crops and cultivate them and actually sell them and get a return for them, right? It's about having that vision for the end result and knowing what you're working towards. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the motivation to get there. So just a key message. So Rahavord has just come and said, great. Yeah, I think the clearer you are on what it is you want. I just at a basic level, what is the end goal? Create it in your mind, create the solution, see it, and then work towards it. That becomes a lot more tangible to work with because you know what you're working towards. You know what it looks like. You know what it feels like. You know what the sense of achievement would feel around getting there, right? As opposed to doing random things and just at a whim whenever you get a little motivated, And I spoke about this actually. Hey, Lizzie, great to have you on. It's again, this is associated to what I talked about on Saturday after I went to the self-development event, which was, related to disillusioned learner, And if you're always changing from, one activity to another, one goal to another, and just doing a bunch of random stuff, what's going to happen is you're not going to have a consistent narrative. You're not going to build the habits towards anything. You're going to become a disillusioned learner, someone who's not, great at anything, but just trying things out, getting really motivated, and then just losing out, because you're not consistently moving towards the things that actually motivate you. So, guys, key message for Rahavord is just, I appreciate you for positive senses. Awesome, Rahavord. If you guys are watching this later and this resonates in any way or form, let me know what what helps you keep a clear focus, and I think everyone could benefit from that. What are some of the tactics that you use? But I think, whatever it might be, whether it be reminders, whether it's an app that you use, something like Trello, I don't know if any of you use Trello, but again, very basic, things you need to do, things you're doing, and things you've done. And you can just slide these little features across Trello, Trello. So check it out if you haven't yet. Really basic, really simple, but really effective to just have focus and to keep on doing your to-do list as opposed to random things. So just wanted to mention that if you guys are watching this later and this resonates, feel free to comment to let me know what your thoughts were about it. But guys, clarity is power. Figure out what you want and get a clear vision for that. And once you figured out what it is you want, then ask yourself, what are the actions that I need to take right now, today, this week, this month? What are the actions that are going to get me to where I want to go? As opposed to letting it be a random process, figure out the end result already and then just reverse engineer it again. So I know what I want to get. I've made it crystal clear. This is really, this is the beach body I'll have by whatever, May 2016. So Marianne's just mentioned, thanks for reminding me about Trello. We'll get on that. Yeah, I would highly recommend any apps like that. Things like Trello, any apps or tools that you might use. Maybe it's as basic as also just a notepad and a pencil, and just writing down clearly what it is you want to do. Also, I do this with my clients. I tell them to journal in the morning, to go and to write what it is that they want to get out of their life, what are their top goals, and go back to it every single morning to build that momentum. So it's whatever tools you have, you want to be completely clear about where you're headed. So I hope that made sense. Like I say, if you guys are watching this later and you have any comments about it, please feel free to write. I'll obviously reply. And yeah, I'm hoping you guys all have a really good week. Talk to you later.